Okay, Stream API in Java. What do we know about it? Well, the objective of this assignment is to get familiar with Java Stream API and understand how to use it to perform various operations on collections. So our task one is setting up the environment. Um, your ensure you have Java Development Kit, JDK installed version 8 or later, and I sure do have that. Let me see my version. All right, I have Corretto, Amazon's Corretto 21. So yeah, my JDK is there. And set up your favorite IDE. Well, I use Visual Studio Code, but I'll just use a basic BlueJ. Uh, sorry for that. I use a basic BlueJ. And we're gonna create a new Java project and a class named Stream Example. So let's go ahead and call this Stream Example here. Stream Example. Okay. And in the Stream Example class, copy this here. Alright, so in the Stream Example class, create a main method. Alright, let's have our class. So create a main method, right? In the Stream Example class, create a main method. Do this and args. Yeah. So okay. So create a main method and initialize a list of integers from 1 to 10, creating a string. So let me say a list. Right. All right. So a list. Create a new. Okay. So in the stream example class, create a main method. Initialize a list of integers from 1 to 10. Okay. So let's do this by integer. Call these numbers. And I'll say int stream, and I'll say range closed. All right, I'm gonna say 1 to 10, and I'll have this boxed so that it converts, right? So I have this boxed, and I'll do collect. Yeah, so you do collect here. Let's say collect. Let me indent this for better visualization here. Okay. Okay, so collect collectors. Then I'll say to list. Okay. All right. Or save this here. Import this. In stream that I think we're supposed to. So we're supposed to import stream, right? Let me go ahead and import util stream, and let me go ahead and actually let me probably just do this. Let me do this instead. Okay. Alright, so then we need to import stream as well. So I'm gonna go ahead and import java dot util dot stream. Alright, so let the stream, and let me say everything here. Okay. And then we need the alright, closing. Okay. Not really good with indentations here, but yeah. So then for task 3, this is task 1, or yeah, task 1, setting up. No, this is task 2. So task 2, task 1 is over here. And then let's go for our task 1, creating a stream, right? Alright, let's go ahead and create task 3. Okay, so use a stream API to filter out even numbers and print them. Okay, so use a stream API to filter out even numbers. So let me say numbers.stream filter, right? To filter out even numbers. So I'm gonna say arrow operator if the quotient of n divided by 2, right? And I'll say 0 here. Then let me do this. Do this here. Okay. Do this here. Let me say for each. And I'll say system right dot out with a method reference here to print line. And then use the stream API. Use the stream API to map the list of numbers to their squares and print the squared values. Okay, so let's say numbers dot stream, right? And let me say me say map, right? To filter. So let me say map. Right, the list of numbers so there are squares to map. Right, so use a stream to map. So let me say map and to their squares. So we'll do this, right? Square is essentially just the number times itself, right? And then so we can do and again, don't worry about the indentation. In Java, as long as it'll read out, whatever it is at the end of the line until all the way here, so it knows that this comes right here, so it belongs to this line here. So, and in stream, this is a good, it's a good way to build out the syntax because it really gets long. So, but anyways, and so let's say for each, and again, system dot out, and we can say print line here. And then what else we have? And then combine the filtering and mapping. Filter out odd numbers and then map their and then map to their cubes. Okay, so let me say numbers. Let me do this. You know what? Let me just do this. Save me some time. Right? I'll just change a thing or two here. But it should be fairly the same. Oh, okay, whatever. Alright, so numbers, combine filtering and mapping, filter out odd numbers and then map them to their cubes. String, sorry. Alright, to the stream. Stream, so I'll say filter, in, right, and to, I'll say if it's not equal to 0, right, if it's not equal to 0, then map, right? So and then so yeah, filter out the odd numbers and then map them to their cubes. Alright, so then we're gonna map n to its cube. We can do that by having the number times itself 3 times. That should be a cube. Alright, and then we can go ahead by saying H system out print line. So for task number 4, where are we right now? So use a flat map method to flatten a list of lists into a single list. What? Hold on. Oh, task number 4. I actually jumped to 5. Sorry. So task number 4. Here we are. No, it is correct. Yeah, use a reduce method to sum. Oh, that was flattened. Okay, just reduce. Okay, so use a reduce method to sum all the numbers in the list. So to sum all the numbers in the list. Terminal operation. So intermediate operations are the lazy operations, and this is one. So terminal. All right. So use the reduce method to sum all the numbers. So to sum all the numbers in the list. So I'll say stream. Alright, to reduce. And I'll say like this. Right? And then use the collect method. Use the collect method to gather all even numbers into a new list. Okay, so let's see what to do here. Use the collect. Let me say list, right? So use the collect method to gather all even numbers into a new list. So into a new list. So even numbers into a new list. Okay, so it's stream. String filter to collect all even numbers. So even numbers, that means that so if n is a quotient, so if the quotient of n divided by 2 is equal to 0, right, and collect use the collect method to gather all even numbers. Alright, so together, say collect say to lists together into a new list, right? So to lists. Okay, and then I want to print out maybe. So let me print out this. See what I'm printing out here. Say even numbers. And say even num. Right? Oh, sorry, that was a typo here. Okay. So task 5, let me see task number 5 here. So task 5 here, and alright. So task 5 is use the flat map method to flatten a list of lists into a single list. You know, this one, so, okay, let me just say, let me see if I get this. So we're gonna say, I'm gonna create a list here, right? To flatten a list of lists into a single, let me say, so integer, right? gonna say integer uh, flat map to flatten a list, right? So I'll say flat list. Actually, so if I say uh, yeah, so flat list. Let me say let's say list of lists, and I'll say stream, right? And I'll say stream flat map. But to flatten a list of lists into a single map. Okay, so say a list of lists. So let me say string. Alright. Let me use your collect. Here. I'll say collect. Say collect. Collectors to lists. I need to print this out here, seriously. Let me see here. I need to print this out. So let me say flattened. Flattened? Yeah, so flattened list. I'll say flattened list, yeah. Let me say what do you have here? What do you have here? Yeah, a list of lists. And this is undeclared variable because we're gonna declare it very soon here. But I wanted to. All right, let me declare this. I'm gonna declare this right over here. Let me say list. All right, because a list of lists. So that's a list, which is yeah. That's what. So okay, so a list of lists. List of lists. So I'm gonna say list. Uh, say list again, and say integer here. All right, and I say list of lists, and I'll say arrays last list, I'll bring up. Okay, so I'm gonna say. So it's like. I'm gonna say. Let me see what I'm gonna say. I'm gonna say arrays dot as list, right? And I'll say arrays list. Right, so a list of lists. And let me say, so integers, so we have here, let me say 1, 2, 3 here, let me say 4, 5, 6, I say 7, let me say 12 and 15. Okay. I want to print out here. Flatten list. Okay, yeah, so it flattens it out. Okay. Let me try something like this instead. Then let me say 20. Oh, it was just okay. Give out the okay. So we can say 8 here. Do it like that. All right. So what do we end? Let me put some space over here. Now, use the grouping by collector to group numbers by even and odd. Okay, say use the grouping by collector to group numbers by even and odd. Even and odd. It'll say by even and odd. Grouping by collector to group numbers by even and odd. Let me say integer. Use the grouping by collector. So let me say grouped by collect. And I'll say numbers dot stream collector. So then that means I'm gonna say collect collectors space here. Let me do it here maybe. Alright, so collectors grouped to group numbers by even and odd. Even and odd. So say grouping by using the grouping by. Alright, so let's say grouping by. So grouping by and say say grouped by even and odd numbers, right? So let's say uh, grouped by collect. Put, pull this a little bit here so you guys can see it a little bit better. Mm, compatible bounds. Grouping, grouping by collect to group, to group, to group. Oh, to group, not to group. So to group even and odd, even and odd. Even. Let me say. Let me map this to a boolean here. All the way it is integer. Yeah, so let me compile this here. False. Okay, so we have false for 1, 3, 5, 7, 9, and true for 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. Grouped by even and odd numbers. So odd numbers give us false and even give us true. Okay. I mean, they are grouped essentially. So if it's not broken, let's not try to fix it. And task number 6. All right, so now we're supposed to create a person class. Oh, a person class. Okay, let me see what I say here. So person class. All right, let me go delete this. I'm not deleting. So a person class. Let's go and create it outside here. With fields. Okay, so a person class. It's just an or standard class here. With fields name and age. Let me say private here. Name and age. Age with integer. Create a list of person objects. A list of person objects. Let me create a public person. And I'll say string name, age. Yeah. And I'll say this name to name, and this age is equal to age. Okay, let me get out of here. Let me create a class. Okay, so we'll create a list of person objects, a list of person. Yeah, use a stream API to filter out people older than 25 and print their names. Ah, let me do quickly a getter here. String, let me get the name. Return. You know, I can return in one line. Yeah, it's fine. Let me return name. All right, and then let me get the age. Sure, let me get the age here. And oh, again, here, force of habit. Let me return the age. The age. Okay. So use a stream API. Does that mean we do it over here? Let me compile this real quick here. Oh, the lights are flickering here. Use stream API to find the oldest person in the list. Okay, so to use the oldest person in the list. I'll say right. Find the oldest person in the list. Um, let me say. Okay, let me do a list here, and I'll say person. I want to get from the person class, right? So we'll say people, and I'll say race as list. I'll say as list, and I'll say new person, and let me call your Maddie, because why not? And I'll give Maddie 30. Sorry, Maddie. And I'll say new person, and I'll say, let me see, I'll say Chalet. No, let me say Bonnie. I'll say Bonnie. And I'll say 20. And another new person. Uh, let me say Chris. Java maybe? Oh, let me say Claude. Claude. And I say 22. Let me go one more person. Let me go one more person. What should I say for this one more person? What should I call them? Fox, Foxy, Luke. Let me say Luke. And Luke, so we have 30, 22, 20. Let me say 33. All right. Yeah, so let's get it. So weaker. And then, let me just say something here. Anyway. anyway, so when we get the part here done, Papa, come on. All right. Now let's do people, right? Call this people, and we do the stream. Uh, call this here. All right, we call the stream and to find the oldest person in the list. So that means we should filter. I'm not really good at this, so bear with me here. Um, so let's say person. So we're gonna use that for our person class, and we want to filter out. Let me get the age here. Right. Want to get the age, and we want to see if what older people that are older than 25, right? Older than 25, right? And let me map and print their names, right? And map. Let me say person. Let me do a method reference, right? So from person, we're gonna do get the name, and let's do a for each year. And I'll say a system dot out dot print line. I can just do this like this. All right. Is there anything here missing? Okay. Let me. Oh, we have an area. Let me see here. I think I. Let me write. What is it? Let me see here. Get name. It is get name, right? Expected. Oh, this is a method reference. We don't need to call this here because the argument is also empty. Um, yeah, something quite interesting here is that our argument is empty, so we don't have to call that here. Okay, let me just go ahead and call this. And voila. So we have here older than 25, correct? Right? Let me just make sure it's actually older than 25. Where is it? Where is it? Yeah, older than 25. And so filter out people older than 25 and print their names. All right, so we have here Maddie and Luke. And so Luke is older than 25, 33, and Maddie is 30. And then we printed their names. Reprinted their names. And you can go ahead and try and do more, but I'll stick with this. This is a solid program, so yeah.